Many American officials feel that Mexico isn't doing enough to stop the flow of drugs into this country, supplying as it does about 1/3 of the cocaine consumed here, and it is the #1 supplier of heroin and marijuana.
This is the net profit from last quarter's marijuana operations. I see here now this is $10 million we put into a shopping center in East LA. My brother Benny's name. And we have $5 million in that Guadalajara car dealership and $20 million in gold in Kruger hands.
I'm getting bored, huh?
Bones. Let's go.
Go. Good, good, good. Go.
Vámonos yendo rápido. Sale, Víctor, sale, sale. Vámonos.
Síguenos.
Vámonos. Sale, sale.
Promise we take no prisoners tonight. Bring the music up.
Rafa, please, the circle's in the ceiling. My customer don't want to come here anymore. Please, Rafa.
Give me some money. Give me some money. Give me some money. Good, good. Good. Get.
Currently, some DEA agents are on assignment outside the United States. They work against the production and transportation organizations of billionaire drug lords in their own countries. They work the streets of cities from Bogotá and Guadalajara to Hong Kong and Bangkok. Outside the U.S., these agents have no police powers. They can't arrest anybody. They can't seize evidence or question witnesses. Often they must go unarmed. Some have been injured, others killed. Nevertheless, they're there, making cases. Camarena, my husband, he's one of those men.
Code number's kept in a safe file. Harley's got the key to it.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, when you're carrying the piece, when you're carrying in the car, stash your piece under and up inside your seat. Just keep you out of jail if one of the state policemen throws a stop on you for weapons search. They call it depistolization. Betty's guy at this motel. 200 rooms. There. See the mast? Yeah, got it. In the basement's the Dopers Communications Center. They got their own air traffic control for the Medellin cartel planes headed up from Colombia. Single sideband, satellite uplink capability. Guadalajara Drug Ops Center. Right up here. See these guys here? Yeah. State policemen. The boys in blue. Most of them are on the take all the time. They're bought and paid for. The only thing they don't do for the traffickers is windows. Welcome to Dodge City. Vargas, amigo. How did it go?
Not too good. I'm not getting too much from Caro's people. I'm a family man. I'm just ruining my liver.
I know. So you have nothing for me?
I do. I got something very special. He'll tell you.
La Viejo?
His name is Munoz. I did some free legal work for one of his cousins. He's repaying the favor.
Buenas tardes.
I am a farmer, sir. My brother and I used to work for ourselves, but 4 months ago he went to work for Caro Quintero up north in the desert.
The desert? What do you farm in the desert?
Oh, they make the desert green. My brother sent this to me in the last letter I got from him.
Marijuana.
The finest sin semilla. No seeds. Grows with no seeds to make all the resin run down into the leaves.
He knows it's dope. But you cannot grow sin semilla in the desert. It grows on mountainsides in tiny plots with plenty of running water. Keep it green and happy.
Yeah, but my brother told me they pump water from under the ground.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult you, viejo. But, gracias. The water table is 1,000 feet below the ground in the northern desert. It's impossible.
No, un momento. It's possible, because it's there. They have many machines, and scientist farmers pumping water from the center of the earth.
Where?
I don't think my brother knew himself.
So do you still get letters from your brother?
No, not for a month. If my brother's alive, I'm going to find him. These are evil people, senor.
I know. Deep, well irrigated, high-tech sensimilla plantations. Big as the sea. We'd bring them down, Harley. I'm gonna find out where they are. I'm gonna get us those fields, man. I wanna hit Carl and the others where it hurts them the most. I wanna take all their dope and all their money. You'll see, Harley.
Forgive me, gentlemen, because I'm so late.
Okay.
We do. Rate for protection of the fields is $14 per pound.
$10 a pound.
You seem to be forgetting all the side benefits that you get.
We get what we pay for. And $10 a pound buys very nice haciendas for a lot of guys who are thinking retiring to Marbella to get never work again. To get a lot of fat accounts in Luxembourg.
And what is this worth?
Federal security badges.
They're nice. But they're not enough. You see, we need a guarantee. No messing around with our production. No guys coming up from Mexico City, making bust on our crops to make the Americans happy on television.
We want protection and cooperation of our fields from Mexico City at $10 a pound.
$10 a pound, huh? $11.
Mexico City is not Guadalajara. Mexico City is like a pyramid. One man standing on top of another. Up and up. Now, one man gets fed, that man is happy. The man above him, he gets his share. And it goes on and on. $11. It's not enough.
$12. No higher. Now, you take it or you go to hell. $12. I have to make a phone call.
See? See? Okay, nice. You did very well. Good.
We have a deal.
What is this?
This is the money.
All of it?
I knew you settled at $12 a pound.
In cardboard boxes?
You want to lose? $12 a pound times 2,000 tons of sin semilla is $48 million. If you don't want it, I'll take it back.
How do we transport it, man? How about security?
Check it at the airport. What do I care? Breathing's a little heavy.
He's been up and down, but the congestion's not too bad.
Hey, kiddo.
Dad.
What's up?
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, listen. About that old Mustang wreck. When are you gonna buy it?
In a couple of weeks.
Gonna work on it, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna work on it. We're gonna trick it out. You go back to sleep, okay? I'll see you in the morning. I love you very much.
You're gonna go, you should go.
Kiki wants to be home like any other father. He's worried about his children growing up with him being gone so much. Be careful.
Always.
filed a phony flight plan. They'll never pick us up.
All right, partner? It's all yours.
Ah, this is the moment. All we got is field workers and a couple of managers, but the consolation prize is we got all Carlos dope, man.
Well, this has to be a collection point. I mean, how many tons does he have stored here?
We saw the planes come. We thought maybe they would take us home. Nobody's paid us. Planes come. They never take us home.
Who are on the other planes?
They are uniforms like that.
Yeah. What do they do?
They talk to the boss, they drink, they laugh, they fly off again. Sometimes the other ones come.
Who?
The ones in the big helicopters. The ones with the medals on their chests. So many medals, he's as bright as the sun.
Muchas gracias.
Sí.
Muchas gracias.
Many American officials feel that Mexico isn't doing enough to stop the flow of drugs into this country, supplying as it does about 1/3 of the cocaine consumed here, and it is the #1 supplier of heroin and marijuana.
It's a war with so far mixed results. The Mexicans call it their permanent fight. Many Americans wonder. Following the DEA-inspired raid on Zaragoza, Mexican authorities are instituting swoop-down operations throughout other vast Sinsemilla plantations, the last found tucked away in rugged mountains above Chihuahua.
Today in the desert of northern Mexico, history is being made. as the Mexican government once again tries to crack down on its illegal drug traffickers. This time, the place is Chihuahua, the site of the largest Sinsemilla fields in the world. And the man of the hour is the leader of these raids, the premier comandante of federal police, Sevilla Caballera.
Comandante, ¿puede comentar sobre la situación en Chihuahua?
Todo está bien controlado. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Comandante.
Who buys this? Huh? Who buys this silk crop that you wrap your fat body in? Huh? What are you talking about? You are my guard dog. Instead, you are a dog who turned on his master. Parading on TV? Huh? We entertain your friends. We send them to La Capital with $48 million of mordida. For what favor? Zaragoza and Chihuahua. Tell me why shouldn't I kill you right here, right now?
Rafa!
Tell me why!
Do you think it was me? Rafa, it wasn't me! We had to! Rafa! There are leaks in your organization, Rafa! Your own people inform on you, Rafa. Rafa, the Gringo Drug Enforcement Agency have information on you, Rafa. How else do they know everything?
Hey guys, what's happening? ¿Dónde está esa chaparrita? Why are the kids home?
The Marine from the consulate security didn't show.
Great. You don't have to bottle it all up for my sake, Mika, you know?
Yes, I do. You don't need on top of your stress mine, too. Because there are dangerous streets and stress causes distractions and mistakes. And in your job, a mistake can get you killed. So I have to do my job, too.
When my tour is up next month, I'm not putting in for an extension. Okay? We're going home to San Diego. Hmm? No more of this. My family's had enough. No more. Okay?
Comandante wants to see you.
Well, I can't go right now. I'm late for lunch.
Oh,
man.
no, compa. It's serious.
All right, you help me move the truck. I'll follow you.
Oh, he's in a big hurry. You come with us, okay?
Okay, you give me a lift?
Yeah.
I gotta make a phone call, though.
Okay, call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't be alarmed, Mr. Camarena. You're among good friends. He's gonna have a talk, okay?
Yo, Mika. Wait a minute. He didn't meet you for lunch? No, well, he's probably in Colima with the Federales. Look, I tell you what, I'll call you as soon as I find out something. All right. Tony, yeah, it's me. Kiki never made it home last night.
¿A dónde fue Comandante Valdez?
Colima, señor.
With everybody? Todos los federales?
Sí, todos se fueron.
You went to the state police?
Yeah. Gracias.
You believe this? No.
I don't know what the hell's going on, Harley. I don't see one police car.
Will Daddy be home tomorrow?
We'll see, darling.
Dad could always take care of himself.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want both of you to go to sleep. There's school tomorrow.
Probably just up in the hills, busting some traffickers, that's all.
You got that straight.
Good night, Harley.
Night, Ricky. Coppers and traffickers hang out here. Come on. This place is usually crowded. Where the hell is everybody? Where the hell is everybody?
No sé nada.
Where the hell is everybody?
No sé.
¿Dónde está todo el mundo? ¿Dónde está todo el mundo?
Que no sé.
¿Dónde está todo el mundo?
Harley.
What the hell is going on here?
We got 5 agents coming in tonight.
How How'd you get here so fast?
Came military. Harley. Master just called. They won't let him come back. So what's he got?
Good evening. I'm Tom Brokaw with NBC Nightly News. There may be no more dangerous job in the world these days than being an undercover agent for the United States Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, the federal agency which is at war with ruthless drug dealers around the world. Tonight, one of those undercover agents is missing.
The American drug agent was kidnapped last Thursday in broad daylight on the streets of Guadalajara, long a center of Mexico's cutthroat drug smuggling business.
Diaz.
Yes, Mr. Portago. Listen, sir, it seems that our officers in Guadalajara went directly to the Federales and the Jalisco State Police as soon as they realized that the agent was missing. But it sounds like all of Jalisco was out of town at the same time, at a policeman's convention or something.
Well, the criminals in Jalisco keep the police very busy. You weren't able to contact anyone?
No, sir. We haven't received any acknowledgement, no communication, nothing whatsoever from the local authorities. Nothing.
That's scandalous. I'll investigate and demand the full report, Senor Mullen.
But I'll do that later. The most important thing is to get you the help you need.
And get it immediately.
Mr. Portago, we're working against the clock here, so at this point we need support.
It's on the way. We will do everything possible to find your missing officer and punish those responsible.
Thank you, Mr. Portago. I knew that we can depend on you. Thank you very much. Bueno.
¡A la derecha! ¡Yo voy a la izquierda! ¡Rápido, rápido! ¡La puerta! ¡La puerta! ¡Rompe la puerta! ¡Cuidado! ¡Cuidado, muchachos! ¡Busquen arriba!
¡Trucha!
¡No sean tontos! Este avión no vuela hasta que bajen las armas y presenten documentos. Déjenme ver sus papeles.
¡Véngase a platicar!
¿Qué platicar?
Ahí está.
Es el último
Véngase,
aviso.
comandante.
Estoy cansado de este juego.
Pásele si gusta. Ahí está dentro.
This plane's not going anywhere till we know who's on it, right?
Don't worry, amigo. Shoot out the wheels if necessary.
Senora, you will have to wait.
Well, my men and I investigate.
Yes. Explicación, por favor.
¡Ojo! ¡Póngase trucha! ¡Póngase trucha!
So what's happening? I don't know yet.
Ponte listo.
Is it let's make a deal?
Póntelos a los güeros a los gringos. Sí, a los gringos, a los gringos. Muchas gracias por tu cooperación.
You're not banking me forward? If that guy's not central casting, I'm Santa Claus. Look at this. Oh, what? We invisible? Wait a minute, what's going on here?
Those men are CFS. Officers of the Federal Security Commission. They're like your CIA.
Oh, come on. What about the punk with all the gold? He's like off a trafficker recruitment post.
I will call Mexico City for instructions.
I gotta know who you're calling.
Foreigners are not allowed to enter this area, senor.
It's a communication center for the U.S.-Mexican Drug Eradication Program. It was paid for by us.
Those are my orders. Excuse me.
It's a good start.
¡Va en guardia!
No!
You letting him fly on? You and I both know what's going on around here, and you're just letting him fly away.
We made a mistake.
We let them get too big.
Chacho! Next time, bring better weapons, not toys! Ciao!
Diamonds. Yeah. This is the last house without search warrants.
What? What do you mean search warrant?
Search warrants, senor. We will need search warrants.
Come on. Every time I've been in Mexico, I've never known a federale or a state policeman to need a search warrant.
Absolutely, senor. Those are my orders.
No cars, no radios, now search warrants.
Want to know something? We're trying to make some progress, and you're really not helping us very much, are you?
My friend, we are under a strict directive. Everything we do must be legal and must be cleared with Portago Diaz or the Attorney General's office first.
Why don't we just forget the directives? We're trying to find a man.
You don't think we lose men every single day?
One of you men stays out late one night, and you come down here like you are Batman? How do you know he was kidnapped? The man is probably sunning his ass on a beach in Miami with his girlfriend.
Hey!
I think maybe you should keep your men quiet.
Why? Maybe what they say is the truth. And maybe you should listen.
No, you tell us the truth. Who signed your bonus checks? Who paid you to let Carol Quintero fly away?
You? You slander my reputation?
You do one hell of a job of that all on your own.
Come on, let's
go on, Harley.
Come on. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk on the phone. Listen, I'm at the local. Just get here fast. I think we got our first witness.
All right, I'll be there. Let's go. Come on.
4 hombres y un Volkswagen Atlantic.
Okay, 4 men in a VW Atlantic, and they're struggling. Now, maybe I didn't ask him right. I asked him if he reported it.
No, he said the same thing to me.
Is he sure, though? ¿Estás seguro?
Sí, estoy seguro. Yo los conozco. Trajeron armas grandes.
Oh, yeah, he recognized him.
It was a policeman.
The president is, of course, aware of the Camarena situation. Do you know how personally he feels about these things? He would send in the Marines if he could.
But he's not going to.
Mr. Long, we understand your concerns for your agents. Our hearts go out to Mrs. Camarena and those children.
We appreciate those concerns, but my main concern is what's going to be done.
We have to consider the full spectrum of the issues. Now, Mexico is our 3rd largest trading partner. Mexico's an integral part of our Latin American foreign policy vis-a-vis Cuba and Nicaragua. The Mexican sensitivities are important to us in so many ways. Such as So State has helped to draft a note which the President is going to send to President de la Madrid of Mexico, stating his concern and thanking the President for his personal interest in this case.
Sir, a U.S. federal agent has been abducted, kidnapped. We suspect by Mexican policemen in the pay of drug traffickers. And you're sending a note?
We think it is the proper signal.
Signal? This requires a baseball bat, not a signal.
Jack, I know what you're trying to say, but there's something you should consider. I'm in a better position to do something outrageous. Jack, I'm retiring in 2 weeks. I can take the heat from Washington, but you've got to be careful. You've got to stay here and deal with the bureaucracy.
The hell with bureaucracy. If I can't speak up when one of my men is in trouble, I won't be able to look at myself in the mirror.
You know, Washington's gonna go nuts. What we're about to do is an anathema.
But they're closing us down in Mexico, and our foreign policy and the national trade agenda are closing us down in Washington. As usual, we're alone. We've got nowhere to go, and we're out of time. I'm beginning to really understand what our guys in Mexico have been going through. To be kidnapped by other policemen, doubtlessly in the pay of traffickers, it's turned the world of drug enforcement upside down.
And how would you characterize the Mexican government's anti-drug campaign?
Failure as well as phony. When our efforts really started to hurt, or when it looked as though we might be getting too close to the major traffickers, they backed off. To put things in perspective, there hasn't been a major trafficker arrested in Mexico for the past 8 years.
Well, this is the last thing I want to do.
Better watch your back, Harley. These guys will eat you up if they can, you know?
The State Department hadn't listened to us in 10 years. Maybe this will get their attention.
Well, you go in the air with this thing, Gilliard's gonna put you on the next bus to Laredo. You know that, don't you?
Oh, hell, Tony, my career's been over anyway. You know, I poked my finger in Gilliard's eye too many times already.
You gonna go with you?
It'd be my date.
Anytime.
The minute the story broke.
Harley Steinmetz, I'm resident agent in charge of Guadalajara.
What do you think about Mr. Steinmetz,
have you found?
The top item on the agenda for both the State Department and the White House is Nicaragua, keeping the Mexican government from tilting toward the Sandinistas. The Treasury's afraid Mexico will default on the $25 billion it owes American banks. DEA's concerns seem pretty far down the list. Where is the war on drugs, Mr. Steinmetz? And if Guadalajara really is the front line, how come we only have 4 soldiers here?
Well, we finally got ourselves a good question.
La voz de Guadalajara. Senor Steinmetz, what kind of evidence does DEA have that top-level people in the government are involved in the drug trade?
Well, the street value of the Sensimilla destroyed at Chihuahua was $2.5 billion U.S. And, well, we destroyed about 5,000 to 10,000 tons of marijuana. That's tons. Now, Carl Quintero probably had $20 million of his own money, his own cash invested in this deal. And it's pretty obvious that the traffickers, they can't operate at this kind of level without owning a piece of the government at some high level. That's because the local cops, see, they just can't guarantee protection.
What about the military and the Federal Security Commission?
Our reporting suggests extensive collaboration with the traffickers.
Well, we don't have access to wiretaps, we don't have access to bank accounts, but I don't know, I'd say you're on the right track.
One of the suspects, one of the traffickers involved in the kidnapping, was spotted in an aircraft leaving Guadalajara Saturday night. He was stopped by the Mexican police and then allowed to leave.
What's his name?
His name is Rafael Carl Quintero. Now, that's it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Deputy Willie Von Raub, Customs on the secure line.
This conference is now over. Sir.
Yes. Nowhere. All we're getting is stiffed in Mexico and sideswiped here with agendas and policies.
No surprise to me, but it certainly is an outrage.
Willie, I really need some help from Customs. I really do.
Listen, just tell me what you want, anything, and you've got it.
Cars were stopped for up to 9 hours along the 1,700-mile border. An official said the agents were looking for terrorists who had threatened the lives of U.S. officials and for drug agent Enrique Camarena, who was last seen February 7th being thrown into a car by 4 men in Mexico.
It's a great tragedy about the disappearance of your agent.
And Zavala.
Zavala? Zavala was a traitor. We are not interested in him.
I thought he was a soldier in the war on drugs, Oswaldo.
There are also strong nationalistic feelings about these issues, such as our banditos are just that, ours, not yours.
So why aren't you catching yours?
Some of our younger officers are reluctant due to their fear of the traffickers.
Osvaldo, who's running this country, you or a bunch of gun-happy banditos from Sinaloa?
Policemen fighting the narcotraficantes disappeared. A few weeks ago, 4 federales, family men like Camarena, were ambushed near Colima. We accept the consequences. Are their lives worth less than one American?
Absolutely not. But Americans don't like unsolved mysteries, unresolved issues. I think the extreme media reaction has to do, Osvaldo, with not knowing what happened to him.
And what if he's never found?
My country's still reacting to the Vietnam War MIAs. Missing in action. They think of Camarena the same way. See, Osvaldo, there's something about missing in action where somebody's gone and you don't know what happened. It's like an open wound. It upsets people terribly. But I believe if Camarena were found tomorrow, if we knew what happened, we would celebrate his homecoming or mourn our loss, and then we would go on with our lives.
Hold it. You can wait here. I need to see I just hand. You can just wait right here. Harley?
Tony, it's all right, thanks.
Buenos dias.
Howdy.
We have received an anonymous note about where Senor Camarena is being held.
Well, we've got an awful lot of anonymous tips, and none of them was worth a damn.
We have great reason to believe this note is authentic. He's being held in Michoacan, at the Rancho El Moreno, owned by a man named Manuel Bravo. As you can see, the writer says they have seen Camarena there. But if he is not alive, his body will be found in the orchard.
Well, I never heard anybody called Bravo or their connection to traffickers, and... Denison, what's this mean, if he's alive?
Senor, Manuel Bravo Cervantes is a rancher and a politician. But we have confidential information that he is also an arms trafficker. We will assault the ranch tomorrow. We leave at 8 in the morning. We take this note very seriously, and we believe Camarena will be there. Adios.
Two more bodies on the inside. Looks like a hit. Not now. Get out of here.
Señor Comandante, tell us what is happening here in your own words.
Unfortunately, the family did not respect our orders to surrender and began to shoot. Our men were forced to fire in self-defense. During the battle, the women came in a car full of ammunition. They have been arrested and are now under questioning. Regrettably, we have lost one federal, Jorge Escobar, from Sinaloa, who died a brave man
in service of his country.
What about Camarena?
No, senor, we did not find Camarena.
All right, when are your men going to search the orchard?
My men are busy. They are policemen, not farmers.
What are these news photographers doing here, huh? What do they want? You set this thing up? How about the reporters? What are you looking for, huh? We've had dozens of tips, all of them been worthless, and yet you couldn't wait to be here. You tell me what. No, I mean it. I get tired of you lying to me, Commandante. This whole thing stinks.
You remember you are a guest in this country.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
You raided and shot these people and killed them.
To be here.
And they're innocent, man. Okay, you tell them. I'll tell you something. You tell them. You tell the news people how Senora Bravo got shot in the back, huh? Right ahead. Why don't you ask questions? Go talk to him. Ask him how she got shot in the back. Ask him. Hey, Commandante, how'd that happen? Amigos, árale. Tony, let's go home.
enviados especiales de cadenas televisivas norteamericanas.
Kiki's dead.
Los cuerpos llegaron en evidente estado de putrefacción, quizá de 4 o 5 días de haber muerto. Daba a entender que...
No! No!
Mr. Lund called. He spoke to Ricky, too. May I have this?
Sure.
I remember how happy Kiki was that day. He wouldn't stop talking about how he had busted the biggest marijuana plantation he had ever seen. You would have thought he had broken the bank at Monte Carlo. Three more weeks. That was all. Why couldn't they have left us alone? We're going to have the mass at Our Lady of Guadalupe in Calexico. It's the same church Kiki and I were married in. I remember after Stephen's car was machine gunned, I remember how afraid I was. But Kiki said, you can't run away from it. If you can't face it, you might as well do something else. I borrowed courage from him. Where do I get my courage from now?
Enrique Camarena went to Mexico to fight the international drug trade, and in the end, it killed him.
Today, Kiki Camarena returned to the United States. Full military honors. Tomorrow, there will be a memorial service in Calexico. Frank Burkholzer, NBC News, Calexico, California.
Will the ashes scatter on both sides?
Yes, ma'am.
He loved both countries so much. Now he's as free as the wind.
Item 6. The bodies were found exposed and covered by only a few inches of dirt. No animal or insect bites were on the remains. The bodies had been moved from a deep grave burial site to the location where they were found. Item 7. Soil samples taken from the bodies were analyzed as a black volcanic ash that is unique to the Primavera Park area on the outskirts of Guadalajara. However, they were found in an incompatible red clay soil area near the Bravo Ranch. Conclusion? They were buried in Primavera Park, then removed, and then reburied at the Bravo Range. Item 8. Body number 1, later identified as Agent Camarena, had multiple fractures of the skull, the jaw and the ribs, a broken right arm, and numerous internal organs had been violated. Number 2 had multiple fractures, a gaping jaw, and torn wrist bindings indicate that the man might have been buried alive. Item 9. The Mexican authorities positively identified the remains as Camarena and Zavala, even though the bodies were so decomposed, a forensic examination was necessary to make a positive ID from dental records. Conclusion? Certain Mexican authorities who knew the bodies' identities worked in collusion with the perpetrators in the removal and the transportation. Do we have lights, please?
We were supposed to find Kiki and Zavala in the orchard. They weren't there for a reason as prosaic as the man bringing them from Primavera Park was probably late. He probably saw the activity at the ranch, panicked, dumped the bodies at the side of the road, and got out of the area.
And an entire family was massacred to sell the lie that these people did it. Case closed. Stop the bad press.
If they were smarter about it, they'd have kept Kiki disappeared. Without a body, there would have been no fact a crime was committed. As it is, we have the homicide of a U.S. official. We have a law that says you can't kill U.S. officials. If you do, you've committed a federal crime, and we will indict you and then seize you and your co-conspirators anywhere in the world and bring you back for trial. So, I've asked for a U.S. grand jury to indict those responsible for Camarena's murder. Its investigative arm is Ray Carson. He'll do a classic homicide investigation.
My first objective is to gather as much physical evidence as possible. And another thing, I'll be working independently of the Mexican government.
Harley's group will continue to work with the Mexican government in the manhunt for Kiki's killers.
But I do think it's meaningless without someone like Comandante Florentino Ventura being here.
He is with us. Given their embarrassment over Bravo Ranch, Mexico City couldn't refuse me.
All right. It sounds like we're finally going to have a Mexican-American effort. That's what it sounds like.
Manos arriba. Ahí queda. Quédense ahí. Su intendente.
What the hell is this?
Pavon Reyes, you're under arrest. The charge is corruption.
I am a comandante, and I demand to be allowed to call my superiors in Mexico City.
Your superiors already talked to me of you. They said, what a pity about Pavon. He's such a disappointment to us. Ándale.
¡Traidor! ¡Canalla! Te llevo a ti también. Véngase.
The place is called La Quinta. It sold for $1.5 million in cash, so we went looking for Colombians. But the phone tap turned up Mexicans. Then an informant told us Mariana Morello, the girl Caro Quintero abducted in Guadalajara, was seen. If she's there.
You're right. Caro Quintero might be there. Now listen, he spots you, he's gone. Now how long is it going to take you to get a warrant? They got him. Tony! Tony!
Dale, dale, vamos. ¡A la derecha! ¡Yo voy a la izquierda! ¡María, deme! ¡Las escaleras! ¡La puerta! ¡La puerta! ¡Rompe la puerta! ¡Cuidado! ¡Cuidado! ¡Cuidado, muchachos! ¡Búsquenlo arriba!
Tony, what's your status? Come on back. Tony? Who's that?
What's your name?
Juan.
Jose.
Juan.
Jose.
There's a bunch of damned original minds around here.
What's going on?
allá! ¡No te muevas! ¡Vente! ¡Ahora tú! ¡No se muevan, no se muevan! ¡Manos arriba! ¡Ándale! Ya lo tengo. ¡Véngase! ¡Tony! ¡Tony!
Who are you?
Marco Antonio Ríos Valenzuela.
Now, let's try again. What is your name?
Marco Antonio Ríos Valenzuela.
Is it him?
I don't know. I got two lousy surveillance pictures, a mugshot.
Mariana. ¿Quién es? Who's that? It's okay, it's okay. You can tell us and then you go home, I promise. Su familia, su madre, ¿sí? Mariana, ¿quién es? Don?
¡Morirás!
¡Puta! Cabrona.
Harley, I wish you were here right now, man.
Because I'm face to face with some sorry son of a bitch who calls himself Rafael Caro Quintero.
Get in the air!
I made them all rich. Federales, state police, CFS. Everyone had their palm out. No one said no to Caro's money.
You paid the policemen in Guadalajara.
Federales, state police, CFS.
Who? Who in the state police was paid off?
I left my list at home.
Ask him about the CFS. Come on.
Mr. Steinmetz, I will decide what's important and what's not.
We're not even writing down the answers he's giving you.
So what?
So what?
Senor Caro, please. Let's go back to the house.
There was a lot of people in the house.
What house? Is that the house you killed Kiki and Carl?
How many? Maybe 50, maybe 100.
Hey, who else was in that house? How about some names?
Other people.
Mr. Riva, Mr. Steinmetz.
We have permission from Florentine Ventura to be part of this interrogation, pal. You understand?
This interrogation is run by the Attorney General's office, not Comandante Florentino Ventura and the federal police.
Hey, Carl. Come on, who were they? Who were the others?
I was taking a nap. I woke up. I went outside.
Compas, now that our friends are here to protect us, let's have some fun, huh? It's too quiet around here.
Who were they, Carl? Were they CFS? Were they Army? What about the gun they found with the CFS initials in Wakita? What about that? Then there was your CFS identity card, had your picture on it, was signed by some general, Ruiz Velasquez.
Basta! Guards! Guards! Take this man away. They're obstructing the investigation.
What investigation? We're just trying to find out who the hell was in the house.
Hold it! This man is confessing, and you are interfering.
He's going to tell you everything you want to hear.
It will not be allowed.
If I'm arrested in a confession, I would like the truth.
Afuera!
Hey, Carl! Carl! Huh? Where were they, Carl? Where were they? Sloan, I have a feeling in my bones, and a lot of things are pointing in a certain direction. Carl Quintero and Fonseca abducted Kiki Camarena, but he wasn't alone, you know. There were others involved. Who? Well, it could have been internal security, it could have been the Army, CFS. I'm telling you, the CFS is all the way through this thing. See, when we picked up Carl, all his men and him had CFS badges on them. Now, every time I interrogated Carl, and every time I mentioned the CFS, he just sat there and he'd twitch. Now, he said when I interrogated him that there were like 50 or 100 people in that house. So they pump Kiki out of all the information that he's got, right? They get everything. Then they kill him. And then they take him someplace and they dump him in a hole in the ground. And that's when this cover-up starts. So who do we get? We get this first commandante of the federal police, this Pavone Reyes guy. And he comes and tells us, he says, I really want to find Kiki's murderer. And all the time, he knows that Kiki is dead and he is buried in Primavera Park. Now, I only know one thing. This thing was so well organized. I mean, it was fast, it was quick, it was executed professionally. And a cop on the take don't do that. He can't. Someone's back there, someone who knows what the hell they're doing. My question is, who? And how high up are they? I mean, who the hell are these people?
We'll give them Caro Quintero and Don Neto Fonseca a trial, a guilty verdict, prison. We'll give them the same on Seguno and El Sami, immaterial pistoleros. On their own, they have discovered CFS badges with your signature, Cuauhtemoc. Other than that, they only have theories and suspicions. Caro Quintero and Fonseca stay Mexican hands forever. Neither they nor any other major narco-trafficant is ever to fall into the hands of the Americans. Caro and Fonseca will leave Reclusario del Norte prison only one way. In a pine box. The losses are 15 irrelevant local cops, the peacock Pavón Reyes, and 2 Sinaloan peasant bandidos who are easily replaceable. So, as of this moment, the government of the Republic of Mexico has decided the Camarena case is solved. Cooperation with Americans on this incident is over. All the physical evidence is to be destroyed. Case closed. Fini. And on the whole, we have done very well.
Tell all your readers. Because you see all these people here, they're my friends. And that is that I have one weakness. Women and gold. I love all women because I was born of a woman. And it pleases me from the bottom of my heart to help the poor because I was so poor as a kid. But I am retired now. And my life, I cannot speak about it because I've suffered too much.
It's not about authority, George. It's about you leaning on them. Now, I can't get hair samples, prints, nothing out of them on Carlos Quintero or Fonseca, let alone Lopez, Rezon, and the rest. Now, I'm going to need that in order to match whatever hair samples we discover if the government ever reveals the location of the crime scene to us.
They don't see why we need a U.S. grand jury to indict and try them, too.
Well, did you explain to them that under United States law, killing a United States official is an act of terrorism, and that allows us to grab an indicted killer or a co-conspirator anywhere in the world? Anywhere in the world! Or is that what they're afraid of?
A tactful guy like you, I can see why you're not getting anywhere.
Listen, I don't care what the hell you think about my tact. I'm not down here on some diplomatic mission, my friend. I'm trying to get some indictments to bootstrap our way above Caro and Fonseca. So what about the bindings? Kiki's clothes, fabric samples of the shroud, all the physical evidence.
Let me say it again, loud and clear. They refused. They said no. They told me to go to hell. Have you got it?
Great. Great.
Harley, a little food wouldn't hurt that tequila a bit.
I'm not hungry.
No!
Damn. Son of a bitch.
Harley, let's get out of here.
Yeah, we will, darling.
No, now!
I can't leave now, Tom, all right? I know the territory better than anybody else. You know something they are never going to find? Who killed Kiki? Bureaucrats are going to wear him down. They're going to get lost in the shuffle, honey. They're going to get vagued out, you know? They're drowned in the amorphousness of it. Not me. Not me. It's about Kiki, and it's about more than Kiki. It's about fat cats who did it and got rich and retired Marbella with $20 million in some Luxembourg bank. That's what it's about. The money from selling that poison up north, and they sell it to kids, Don. That's all. They sell it to kids. It's a chemical war waged against our people. The alienated and the dispossessed. And they kill each other for 20 minutes and a good time. And that's what it's about. Do you get it?
This is incredible.
Those are transcriptions, not shorthand. What does that suggest?
They're transcripts of a tape. They taped it. They tape recorded Kiki's torture and his interrogation.
And if we were able to get our hands on the transcripts, what does that tell you?
But you probably got them from the guys you hired to do routine counter-espionage and tail the KGB all over Mexico City. Same department Armando Rivera works for. Federal Security, CFS. Does that mean that they did it?
Not necessarily.
But it does mean their bosses in the government have the original tapes. 'Cause that's where these came from.
Interesting speculation.
They're gonna figure out who leaked this. Why'd you do it?
A lot of guys in the agency feel the same way. We all helped to get this.
I don't know. The DEA turning everything upside down for one guy. Kinda cool.
Good luck, Carson.
It's come to our attention, Mr. Attorney General, that you are in possession of the tapes that were made of the Camarena interrogation while it was under control of Carl Quintero. We'd like them.
Mr. Lone, we are here to discuss the eradication
Tapes
program.
were made of the Camarena interrogation, and I'd like them.
The first item on today's agenda, gentlemen, is helicopter spare parts.
Tapes of the Camarena interrogation, sir?
Is it the U.S. intent to replace drug eradication program helicopters or increase the supply of spare parts?
The tapes of the Camarena interrogation.
Tapes?
They exist. We know it. We have incontrovertible proof.
Mr. Attorney General, what Mr. Lawn means when he says the word you is your government. The tapes exist. You may not be immediately and personally aware of them.
Well, it does seem.
Yes.
It seems after Fonseca was arrested, they found a lot
They
of...
found tapes.
Yes.
Fonseca had them. However, we have a difficulty.
And what is that?
As this administration's senior counsel on legal policy, I feel the tapes are too sensitive. You can appreciate it.
I appreciate your suppressing evidence. We would like the tapes.
Mr. Lone, the tapes at the moment, they are not in Mexico
If you
City.
don't give me the tapes, I'll call a press conference. Every newspaper and television station in Mexico will show up. Mexico City papers in particular have been very interested in what we have to say about corruption in this administration.
Are you threatening us?
Absolutely.
I will let you listen to the tapes, and then we can discuss how you can get copies. Next.
We're going to pack our things, our household things.
The entire Chihuahua affair. Have you dropped it?
Yes. Sir, I'll explain. We had nothing to do with that affair.
Then what are you doing here?
As I said, I'm getting ready to leave. They aren't briefing me on anything of importance. Sir, I only work at the DEA in Guadalajara. I'm not the resident agent in charge. I'm not the boss. I don't know as many things as you think I know.
Tell me about the Chihuahua affair.
It was a matter developed by the Hermosillo office, not our office.
I apologize for your mistreatment.
Go!
We will not hit you anymore. But you must talk. All right? Okay. Put your hands up. Don't strain so much.
Yes, Camarena. Yes. Yes, Camarena. Yes.
Just a few more questions. Don't worry. Don't worry. You will see your wife and children again very soon.
Look, I told you about the one at Chalda. Yeah. I can't.
Just tell me what you know about our friend Ramon.
Where? Where?
Mr. Lau.
Yes.
You must be very tired, Mr. Lon, but perhaps you'll like to be my guest at my favorite restaurant. It's only 25 kilometers out of town.
I wouldn't go 25 kilometers out of town with you. 25 kilometers, Mr. Diaz. I wouldn't go 25 feet across the street with you.
Who was in charge of the interrogation?
I don't know.
Who else was there then?
So many.
What did they want?
To know what Camarena knew about them. To talk to him.
Who wanted to know what he knew?
How the hell do I know? I'm a pistolero. I don't know who's in the social register, man. And where do I get something to eat?
When we're finished.
Well, can we at least order a quesadilla, man? I could starve to death in here listening to your stupid questions.
Shut up!
Hey, Gavron. You don't have to impress your gringo friends behind the mirror. I'm not always gonna be in this prison, man.
If you threaten us again, I'm gonna tear the tongue out of your head with pliers. Do you understand? Now, which of the traffickers was in the house besides Carlos Quintero and Fonseca?
I don't know. Some hombre.
What hombre?
I think I heard Ramon. From the north, I think.
Ramon. Who's Ramon?
I don't know.
That name comes up on the tapes, too.
And then?
I followed El Chango into the bedroom. And I saw Camarena. Semi-conscious, blindfolded, bound. Bad shape. Mumbling.
What else did he say?
He had a family.
What else?
The man in charge of the interrogation told me...
El comandante?
Yes, the commandant.
This Luis guy is good.
What did he tell you? Told me to put Camarena into the trunk of a light blue Dodge Dart. That was the last I saw of him.
He just admitted he knew him. Ask him again about the Comandante.
Tell me the name of the Comandante.
Come on.
The state police Comandante? Is Comandante a nickname? Is he CFS, IFS? IFS!
The political police.
Go on! I can't! You must!
If I do...
If you don't! Who? We have to know! Name him!
Espino.
Sergio Espino Verdin. Am I correct? The former Guadalajara Comandante of the Federal Intelligence Service? Am I correct?
You are correct.
Just tell me what you know about our friend Raymond.
Please repeat that phrase again, Commandant Espino Verdin. Please.
We will not hit you anymore.
Would you do so?
I tried. They took Ventura's man off the case. They gave us this guy. He's an amateur. He's hopeless. A cheap tape recorder letting the guy say his own words like they're the phone book. What the hell kind of voice print is this going to be? I can't make a comparison from this. You're stiffing us.
I'm sorry, Mr. Carson, but the
That's
interior...
okay. That's okay, Luis. It's all right.
Just a few more minutes, and we will return you to your family. Just tell us what you know about our friend Ramon.
Yeah, Ramon. Tell us more about your friend Ramon.
Please repeat that phrase again, Commandant Espino. Please.
You were killing him.
You were killing him!
You were killing him! You son of a bitch! Come on, you killed him! You killed him! You beat him, you tortured him, and then you murdered him! You bastards! You killed him, and now you're protecting him! Come on! You're giving the voice test so it's no damn good! You're protecting him! Why? Come on! Come on! Calm down! Come on!
What's that gonna do? Is that gonna bring Kiki back?
It's gonna make sure he didn't die for nothing, Ray.
Making sure he didn't die for nothing is working the case.
We had a speed over team. We had him. They're gonna let him go. They protected him. We got a case. And what are you gonna do with that?
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Okay, they're not gonna give us Espino Verdin. He was the interrogator. He asked all the questions. He knows too much. So let's move on!
We ain't got nothing! They are bought and paid for, every single one of them! They are paid for! And do you understand? We ain't got nothing! There is no light at the end of this thing, man. You see an end to this?
I don't know if there's an end to this or not. That's not my job. My job is to work this case. And if I don't believe in that, then I believe that Kiki died for nothing. And Kiki's death means something to every one of us. It means that one of us counts. It means that one of us makes a difference. And I'm not gonna let you give up on this. You are not gonna burn out on me. You are gonna make it to the finish line if I have to drag you across. And do you know why? Do you know why?
Why?
Because you deserve to be there, Harley. You deserve to be there. Okay? Okay? I don't let him see you looking like this.
Territory of your enemies, you found a friend alone, and those of them who loved you knew your loyalty was won. Never would Kiki Camarena betray himself.
Gabriel? 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 ¿Dónde está Gabriel? You know Gabriel? Best friend named Gabriel? Cousin named Gabriel? Dog named Gabriel? Doggy friend named Gabriel? You're not Gabriel, are you? Come on over there.
And blow the angel Gabriel up there.
You a friend of Kiki's?
Yeah.
Kiki tell you about me?
No, not exactly. He had a name in his casebook. Gabriel El Campeon.
He was a good guy. Used to say I had a lot of heart.
Next to Gabriel, he wrote a reference I don't understand. Maybe you can help me with it. R for Mexicali.
Kiki took good care of his people, man.
You got something for me, then I got something for you.
Hey, you just don't get it all. You don't get it. You know, you come in here, you don't even say, how are you? Would you like a drink? No, R from Mexicali. You got no finesse, man. You got no finesse.
Listen, I don't want to hurt your feelings, Gabriel, but I don't have a lot of time here. Okay? Okay?
Yeah, well, then you could have learned a lot from Kiki. R from Mexicali is Ramon Barona. You know Ramon?
No.
All my life, I've been 6 inches away from guys that could beat my brains out. Sizing them up. You know, looking in their eyes. When I was muscle for Rafa and Ramon, I was looking in their eyes too. It's like looking into a doll's eyes. You look into them, all you see is glass.
Why was Kiki so interested in Ramon Verona?
Don't you know?
No.
Ramon Verona is the main conexión. He's the main pipeline.
From where to where?
Mexico City. The politicians. He's the main pipeline to all the guys at the top that call the shots. And you know why?
Tell me.
Because he moves all the money. You want to find out how things work in Mexico? You follow the money. That's what Kiki was into. Go see this guy. I sent Kiki to him.
Thank you, Gary.
Hey, I don't want your money, man. You know, Kiki was a friend of mine. I did this for him.
You will do for me what Camarena promised.
Absolutely.
The green card for my girlfriend, too?
Of course, of course.
Where do you want to start?
Why don't we start where Kiki left off?
Portago Diaz.
Yeah, that'd be a good place to start. And what he had going with Ramon Verona?
Newport Beach?
Newport Beach.
Shall we order?
Sure.
Oh, by the way, are you aware that we have information indicating that Portago Diaz laundered over $100 million in the United States through a man named Ramon Verona? On the other hand, I do want to re-administer the Espino Verdon voice prints with American technicians. I also want the physical evidence turned over and shared with our forensics people from the grave sites and the Lope de Vega house. By the way, the salmon here is very good.
State Department on line 2.
Go ahead, Mary. Put it through.
Afternoon, Jack. Jack, this call is because everyone here wants to extend you every courtesy. Plus, you know how strongly the president feels about the drug situation. Well, additionally, there's been a bit of pressure from Mexico City. To put this phone call in its real politic context, I think I'll draw you a hypothetical situation. Now, American banks have $25 billion in Mexican loans. Now, if Mexico were to unilaterally impose a moratorium on the interest on those debts, what effect do you think that might have on the Security Merchants Bank of New York, say, of their portion of Mexico's $3 billion interest being knocked out of their cash flow? We're talking belly-up time, Jack. Now, as pressure goes, this is mega tonnage. Do you know what it took? One phone call.
Okay, what's the story?
The administration's war on drugs is going to emphasize the domestic struggle, focusing on users in American cities, fighting the war on our own home ground, not so much on foreign shores.
Where it has the best chance of being effectively waged, interdicting and disrupting production and transportation.
As I said, this call is a courtesy to alert you to a position the president is taking.
When will he take it?
6 o'clock news in about a minute and 30 seconds.
The NBC News at the U.S. Capitol.
El narcotráfico es corruptor.
Drug trafficking corrupts in all countries, corrupts policemen, judges, fiscal agents. Mexico is no exception.
What many Mexicans say is that the problem is primarily in the insatiable American demand for more and more drugs.
Si no hubiese demanda,
If there were no demand, there would be no production. And I'm happy that very recently, President Reagan has recognized the responsibility of the United States to combat the phenomena of consumption, which, unfortunately, has been growing.
At the White House today, President Reagan met with Mexican President Miguel de la Madrid.
During private meetings, the differences continued, Mr. Reagan pushing his hard line against the Soviet-backed regime in Nicaragua, de la Madrid saying Central American turmoil is the result of social and economic unrest. But in the closing toast, there was agreement.
The good and decent people of both our countries have made a strong commitment to fight the scourge of narcotics and drug trafficking. This battle continues.
The Mexican leader asked the U.S. to understand how hard it is to reform the economy while paying off a huge debt. Mr. Reagan said the U.S. will be understanding in helping Mexico get new loans.
I'm impressed with the commitment that you've made, Mr. President, to meet this challenge and to take the necessary steps to achieve a robust, growing Mexican economy.
The president was here only 4 hours on his way back from vacation, and some Mexican officials thought he should have stayed longer. But U.S. officials say this dialogue is an intense, continuing process.
Hello? Councilor Portago Diaz here. We are not going to re-administer the Espino-Verdin test voice because his lawyer has obtained an order preventing more tests. So, there'll be no more tests. Sorry. Good night. Mr. Lon, Portago Diaz, sir. Sorry, but I have very bad news to tell you.
You know the physical evidence you requested from Attorney General Garcia Ramirez? Well, I investigate.
It seems we burned it. It's all been destroyed.
What? How can you destroy evidence while an investigation is pending?
It was putrefying. Anyway, it's done. Sorry. Good night.
Looks like your boy's late, hijo.
Look, my information about Verona is no good. You have to pay for it, amigo.
It's true.
Ese es el carro.
Jalisco State Police. This car is illegally registered. Open up the trunk.
Great.
Open up the trunk. Possession of an automatic weapon is a serious offense.
Listen,
I'm with the DEA. I've also got a diplomatic passport. We can go to my office, clear this whole thing up.
I'm taking you in.
Listen, I got a diplomatic passport.
Same thing that happened to Kiki Camarena, that's what's gonna happen to you. They're gonna plug you into a wall socket, man. You're gonna end up just like him.
That was it.
That was the last you saw of him?
We went back a couple of minutes later like we planned, but he was gone. The car was still there.
Assume Tony was grabbed.
It's happening again.
On the phone. Check with state officials, federal police. Bob, go back down to the bowling alley. See if you can find somebody who saw Tony leave. Call Jack Law and let him know.
Not gonna happen again.
Yes, sir. The police pulled up, made them open the trunk. Then they dragged them off.
The police dragged them off?
Si, senor.
I have told you, senor. We do not know if he is here. And if I did, there is nothing I can do.
We're not leaving. Release Reva now.
You don't demand nothing from me. Reva who? Reva what?
Can I talk to you for a minute, please? Come here. We are not going to leave here without our friend, Tony Reva.
Santos. Santos. Tráigame el prisionero inmediatamente. No me importa. Ahora.
I can't walk. I can't walk.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Baja la calma. Todos.
Do you agree with the Justice Department spokesman who characterized what happened to Reva as, quote, mistreatment, end quote?
Mistreatment. Special Agent Anthony Reva was stripped, blindfolded, bound, tortured with electric shocks, and beaten. It is scandalous that anyone could term what Reva experienced as mistreatment.
Does the Reva incident suggest a different strategy for the DEA in Mexico?
No comment.
Yeah.
A different strategy to matters in Mexico is about to be adopted. Get ready, Ray. The gloves are coming off.
¿Mí? Sabroso. Cuidado, muchacho.
Para los muertos. Salud,
Primary suspect's code is remaining. He's out.
I got rid of those other people so we don't have intermediaries taking all the profits. So now, my friends, how much is it? El comandante.
Listos todos? All right, get ready. I'm right on their tail. They're heading straight for you. I'm a mile away from you. They're heading right to you.
Ándale, amigo.
Do you see him? He should be there. He should be there.
Where'd they go?
How the hell do I know? Where'd they go?
Let me get it. Vamos. Vamos por allá. Yo me voy para la derecha. Máximo.
Good evening, sir. Do you have some documentation as to your immigration status? No? Well, then I do believe you have entered the United States of America illegally, and we're going to have to take you downtown to the immigration office for processing.
Okay, my name is Abel Reynoso. I'm an agent with the Drug Enforcement Administration. We're in a hotel room in downtown Los Angeles. The date is October 14th, 1987. The time is 17:30. This is a camera check. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello there. Listen, carnal. For $25,000, please don't make me look bad. We don't want him to die before he tells us who the snitches are.
Everything is going to be okay, Evan. I saw it in the stars. I read my horoscope today. Everything's going to be all right.
Oh, you check the stars, huh? Él es policía. That's going to take a little bit to break him down. Now, how are you going to do that?
Here's a list of some of the stuff that we're going to need. Club soda and handcuffs, lamp, chair, cattle prods.
Cattle prods?
Sure. You could use an extension cord, household current. But the household current is stronger. You don't want him to have a heart attack before the right moment.
Oye, Victor, how do I know that you're going to do as good a job as you say you can do?
Remember Camarena?
Camarena? You were involved with the Camarena thing?
That guy suffers. It was done very methodically. First they pulled out.
Is that you we saw on the tape?
Yes, it was.
Can you give us your name and tell us your occupation?
My name is Abel Reynoso. I'm a special agent with the Drug Enforcement Administration. That videotape was made in Los Angeles, California.
Is the other man who appeared in that tape in this courtroom?
Yes, he is.
Could you point him out to us, please?
That man at the table with the gray suit, black shirt, and striped tie, Mr. Victor Lopez.
In the situation that was secretly tape recorded, who did Mr. Lopez think you were?
A major cocaine importer who brought him up from Mexico to torture and interrogate an informant inside my organization.
And how did you meet Mr. Lopez?
Mr. Victor Lopez was an officer of the Jalisco State Police at the time of the murder of Special Agent Enrique Camarena. We knew that he was coming to Los Angeles to offer his services as a paid assassin. I arranged a meeting.
In addition to Mr. Camarena's blood type and hair, did you find at the crime scene any other hair that matches anyone else in this courtroom?
Yes, sir. We found hairs that match samples labeled as coming from Mr. Verona. From the bathroom at the Lope de Vega house, from the rear bedroom where Mr. Camarena was held.
What does this mean for me?
Don't worry, they haven't got a thing on you. You stopped by the house. You didn't know what was going on. You didn't kill him.
From the drains leading into the main sewer line, from vacuuming the floors and furniture.
Thank you.
I'm getting gray.
Your hair's not getting gray.
Not my hair, my skin. This food and no sun. Maybe I'll go to Rio, huh? You ever been there?
Uh-uh. I go to Hawaii, Maui.
Hi, guys. So, you worried?
Nah. Of course I'm worried. Ramona knows all the players at the top of the rock. He can give us everything if he flips.
What's it gonna take?
A guilty verdict and more. Even if the court comes back with a single life sentence, that won't be enough. What's single life, Harley? 15 years. He's eligible for parole in 8. I mean, this guy's young, but he's no virgin. He can do a nickel or a dime standing on his ear. We got a shot at him if and only if we win the grand prize. Heavy-duty time in some cold, hard place like Marion.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the following charges: narcotics trafficking, murder, felony murder, kidnapping, conspiracy, we find the defendant, Ramon Verona, guilty.
Does defense have anything to say before sentence is passed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed.
We sincerely feel that the jury's guilty verdict is incorrect.
Evidence is conclusive and undisputed that when the torture was taking place, your client was at that house. And it is not disputed that hair of his body was found there by FBI forensic experts. And when your client told one witness, we took care of the problem, the court doesn't interpret that as an idle boast.
We wish to emphasize that Mr. Verona is a devoted family man, and we hope Your Honor will weigh this before passing sentence.
Enrique Camarena was also a devoted family man.
Judge, Your Honor, you are sentencing an innocent person. That's all I have to say.
Mr. Verona, It's not uncommon for a co-conspirator to feel that just because he didn't strike the death blow that he's innocent. But that's not the law. And you are a co-conspirator. The court hereby sentences you, Ramon Verona, under Federal Statute 848 of the Criminal Enterprise Act, to serve 240 years plus life in prison for your involvement in the kidnap, torture, and murder of DEA agent Enrique Camarena.
No.
The bench recommends that you not be eligible for parole for at least 60 years.
News conference in 10.
Okay. I got it. Qualified news, sir?
Hello, Mika. I haven't got much time, but I wanted to tell you first, we got a conviction. A long, long sentence for Ramon Verona. He said to us, make sure Kiki won't be just a number. I made you a promise.
Okay, everybody, listen up. Listen up, please. Now, I'm going to start this off, do a press conference, and then come back. So order in some food, because we're going to be here for a while. Okay, the word has got to be out from Guadalajara to La Paz that Verona just took a heavy fall. That means they got to figure that sooner or later he's going to give them up. He's looking at 60 years of hard time in Marion. That means that they're likely to pull out of whatever cover or hideouts or banking arrangements that Verona knew about. Now, they're going to make moves. A lot of fish are going to break the surface. So let's be watching.
Cochi Loco was spotted in La Paz. Now, he may try and make a run back into Mexico off this thing. If so, where do you think he's going to show up? Culiacan? I don't know. Harley, what do you think?
Well, probably Mazatlan, because he owns 5 resort hotels there, and then Culiacan.
Okay. On the asset side, let's stay on the big money transfers, particularly Portago Diaz and General Ruiz. It'll be Panamanian and Cayman Island banks. On the interdiction side, they're not going to trust any of the air routes or drop sites that Verona knew about, so check on that.
Yeah, that's right. It's a message. The message is, if it takes 5 years or 10 years, there are 3,000 agents in the DEA. We will never rest until every person involved in the abduction and murder of Enrique Camarena is brought to justice. Regardless of who it is, and regardless of how long it takes, this is not over. We won't stop.
Dear Harley, it's hard getting the truth in little pieces. I hope to know it all someday, no matter how painful. It took a leap of faith for Kiki to become a narcotics agent. Growing up poor in Calexico, he knew better than most the odds stacked against him. He had seen the misery that led people to take drugs and the desperation that caused them to smuggle. He knew about cops who took bribes, politicians who made promises, and judges who jailed poor kids and only scolded rich ones. But Kiki believed that one man could make a difference, and one man has.
They called him El Gallo Prieto, the black fighting rooster. Adios, Kiki Camarena. May you rest a gusto. Your friends will all miss you and pray that the Virgin of Guadalupe forgive your assassins on this day. Gallo Prieto, campeón derecho. Gallo Prieto, campeón del tiempo.
That the way the song goes?
Yes, that's the way.
Well, I guess the Virgin of Our Lady of Guadalupe has infinite mercy, don't she? But to those of us who are only human, we'll never forgive. Salud, Kiki. Salud.
Noche tras noche.